What is up, guys? Welcome, 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 welcome. Crypto FUD, and let's jump right into this. What's going on, Larry? Anthony? Hope you guys are excited because the market definitely hit a rally today. All right, nice. Let me crack open my tea and let's get this going. All right, so what is up, guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Larry, Anthony, MeX, my boy Flip, BP family. What is going on, guys? Let's give everybody a few minutes to jump in. But, bro, you guys checking out Milady right now? Are you guys seeing Milady right now? Milady is up 19.4% right now. Killing it. Absolutely killing it today. We're going to go over everything, what's going on, why the markets were rallying. If you guys did see, we had a morning stream as promised. We covered the CPI report, and we were getting pretty rowdy in here when the CPI report released, came out, and we'll cover it. But pretty much earlier today, we were looking at Bitcoin, obviously, just watching it as 8:30 hit this morning, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. CPI report was forecast for 3.6, and we met that 3.6. And we grabbed that 3.6, and that's what I was saying. Anything at that at the forecasted price, or forecasted percent 3.6 or lower, we were going to see a nice rally. And the Bitcoin was at the time. This was about 8:30 this morning. Flip, thank you so much for the $10. I see you right now, brother. I got you. Just give me 2 seconds. So earlier today, you guys, before the actual CPI report release, like right before, I was asking, we put a poll out. I was like, what do you guys think? You guys think we're going to have a good CPI report? We're going to have a bad? 80% of the people that were watching this morning said that we were going to have a good CPI report, and this was probably 10 minutes before the actual numbers dropped. I was, agreeing with them because I was like, you know what? The markets were coming up. As we were streaming, the markets were trying to come up, and I was like, usually when you see something like this, it's usually indicating that people are anticipating some good numbers coming out. And that's exactly what we saw. You guys saw right when the numbers dropped, we formed this beautiful God candle right here. And then from there on, I said there's going to be some volatility, but most likely towards the upside. And that's exactly what we did. Bitcoin ran up to 66.4. And you guys know we have this 66.4. We've mapped this out for a very long time, this pivotal spot that we've had. And I said this was going to be our next spot after the 64.9. This was going to be our next spot for some solid resistance. And you can see for right now, we have come up. We hit our head. And so far, we are still sitting above the 20-day moving average. This is obviously for the 15 minutes. So just looking so bullish. Today, we needed this. It seems like it just sparked up a whole new bullishness in the markets. And we're going to see everything that's running. And hopefully, we can continue this run as we move. And this would kind of coincide with what we've been talking about, how Bitcoin usually does this sideways action, downward move, post-halving for about 6 to 8 weeks. And we are approaching around that 6 to 8 weeks in the next few weeks. So this would kind of play out the way we normally would see it. So now, what is going on, everybody? Real quick, I do got to jump in. My boy Flip with the $10 super chat. He said, CKB, please. CKB update, please. Let's check it out. We'll interrupt everything. Let's check it out. Freaking look at Milady. Milady is going absolutely berserk right now. Let's check it out. We haven't checked this project out, Flip, in a while. Probably the last time you asked to see it. So let me zoom out a little bit real quick and see what we're working with here. All right. And then also I want to see... Is this CKB? Is this Nervos Network? Is that correct? 1.6. Yeah, that's correct. I always get mistaken with the acronyms like CKB, but if you would have told me Nervos, I'm like, oh yeah, Nervos. So real quick, just want to check out the market cap. $700 million. So looking good. It's technically up about 7.5%, a little bit more for today. You obviously can see right when that CPI report came out, went on a nice run, and it's kind of been consolidating sideways for right now. Let's see here. So you can see if we look at the charts, we're looking at the fib retracement lines right here, and you can see we're basically hitting our head on the 618 for right now. You can see it ran up, ran a little bit above the 618, but flip, look exactly where it's hitting its head. Exactly on our 618 that we have mapped out. This is going to be at this the 162. So 1.62 cents. Look at this. Beautifully hitting its head right here on the 618. So what I would say is hopefully the markets stay bullish. We're going to need to retest these levels probably a few more times before it can get some kind of a break above the 618. We want to see us break above the 618 and find some support. Right now it is resistance. We need to flip that into some support. But I will say for today, obviously you've had a nice little cool off in this project for sure, but you can see a nice little spurt and some awakeness as far as what's going on. And hopefully, like I said, we can break above that 1.6, which is going to be the 618. You need to find some support, and we'll continue on to a nice rally. But just looking at it right now, if you really zoom out, zoomed in, it didn't look the best, but if you zoom out, you can see just massive gains it's had. Obviously running up, hitting a top right here at around, what is that, the 3.37. So I mean, you had a nice little cool off. Right now I would still say, even with the run up, it's up about 8%, not a bad time to be dollar cost averaging in. But you can see the 618, when it bounces off the 618, it goes on runs. Right now it's a pivotal spot that it's hitting its head on as resistance. So until you flip that 618, and that's again at that 1.6, right when you flip that and find some support, you're going to be running up. So good luck with that, and keep reminding me. We'll keep watching this every day. Thank you so much for the $10, bro. I appreciate that. And Scott came. Let's see here. What's going on, brother? Member for a month. Nice, bro. Appreciate that, man. We're gonna jump right into this real quick. Let me just make sure I said what's up. Jay said he made it. What's going on, Nico? Larry's in the house. BP, bro. Keep your head up, brother. We got you, bro. I promise. We got this. You're gonna be good, bro. I got you. All that's going to come back. So Miek said, can call compare with Milady in this bull run? We'll compare the twos. We'll see. We'll compare it. Scott said, pump up Milady. She's looking good. Hope you're well. Been hella busy. Good, bro. I hope you're doing well as well. And you know what? Being busy is a good thing, honestly, because being bored, I don't know. I don't know, right? Because if you're rich and you're bored, it's like, it is what it is. But when you're bored and you don't have any money, that's what sucks, right? So I guess if you're out there grinding and you're busy, bro, hell yeah. Shout out to you, bro. And he also said he hasn't sold a penny, still stacking and packing. There you go. Jed said, Crab fam. We'll definitely check out Crab here in a second. Jasmy uploaded. Nice, Shed. Muhammad, what's going on, brother? And let's see here. Scott said, someone gifted me a sub. I appreciate whoever did big time love. Hell yeah. And Dowdy, what's going on? Mary Nuts, Crab, 5K in each. Let's go. We're definitely gonna check out. The Kronos and all the DeFi for right now. But let's go back to Milady real quick, guys. Let's go back to our beloved Milady real quick. What is going on? Milady is absolutely killing it today. Up 19%. Our market cap is up 20%. Obviously, the same thing. Oh, so we're up about 20, almost 21% as of now, and market cap obviously doing the same thing at around 120, about 125. And look at that. We just jumped up 126. We just jumped up $1 million in the market cap in literally a split second. That no FUD effect is real, guys. I'm telling you. It is not just a hoax that you're seeing on TikTok. It's real. It is a real thing, and you guys just witness it right there. So, but I mean, it feels great, guys. I told you this. You know, we're not out of the woods necessarily yet, but we've been, even in the streams, right? We've just been like, what have I been saying for the last like 2 weeks? Stick a fork in your eye. Stick a fork in your eye. It's so boring right now, right? Everything's just sideways. But I was also saying, bro and girls, if you guys are able to, I would be eating up these dips right now, because there's going to be a point in time where we're going to come and we're going to start running, right? Is that time now? Like I said, I'm not necessarily like gonna go, oh, I'm so bullish like right this second. I am very bullish for today, but there's gonna be certain key levels that we're gonna need to get to. obviously for Bitcoin, but for Milady as well, for me to really be like, all right, we're back up. We're about to be going back up to all-time highs. We're not necessarily there yet. Today is a great day, right? We're up over 20%. Anytime you see any of your projects up 20%, it's nothing but a great day, right? So we'll take it. We'll continue with it for sure. Let's go back to Bitcoin real quick. So like I was explaining for Bitcoin, CPI report dropped today. We basically met the forecast at around 3.6 for the core inflation. Our year-over-year inflation 3.4, which we met exactly what they were forecast. And normally, if you go back 6 months ago when CPI reports were coming out and inflation was coming down rapidly, when we had a CPI report that met the forecast, it actually was negative. But since we had that last CPI report 6 weeks ago where we came out and it actually was higher than expected, this time us just meeting that forecast, it was a big deal, right? Because it showed the feds, because technically our CPI report last 6 weeks ago, we were at 3.8 for core. We came down to 3.6, so we didn't just tick down we ticked down 0.2% in interest, or in inflation, which is big. That's a big deal for us. So it's showing that just because we had a bad CPI report last 6 weeks ago doesn't mean that we're on our way up. We actually just came down and basically ate up what we were supposed to do 6 weeks ago and what we just did today. So things are looking good. And you're wondering, Crip, why is it such a big deal for our inflation to come down, obviously, for the markets? Why is it so bullish? Well, we're waiting because we want to see the the feds start reducing interest rates. And in order for them to do that, they have to see inflation continuing to come down. Their target for inflation is 2%. When you start getting down, we came from 9% just about a year and a half ago, right? We're at 3.6%. For us to get to that 2%, it's going to be rough. It really is. We're going to have times where we're tricking up a little bit and then coming down like we did. It's going to be like that. It's not going to be just a straight shot now that we're getting so close to that actual spot that we're looking for, that 2%. That 2% inflation rate is what you want to see. So let's see here. So Bitcoin right now, 66,160. You guys can see we said this right when we first started. We are hitting our head at a beautiful spot. This is honestly very bullish right here at 66.4. I wouldn't even be upset if Bitcoin came back down and just retested 64.9 right here, giving us the confirmation that we're going to be staying up and we're going to continue on this run. We don't have to necessarily do that, but I'm just saying if we do come down, don't be upset. Don't say, oh my God, it's all over with. If we can come down and we hold that 64.9 area, I think that we are going to see some good moves coming up in these next few weeks. So we'll see how it plays out. Let's bring up Crab because I know a couple people are already asking. So a couple things with Crab. Let's see here. And let me jump right back into the chat real quick. BP said, man, I'm mad I missed that so long. This morning I would have been up nice. Bro, I did the same thing. You guys saw it. I was like, I'm opening up a position and I'm so into the stream and everything that's going on. I didn't even freaking open up a position. So it is what it is. Mohammed said, don't forget about NFK. $34,000 market cap is insane in that market cap. Don't underestimate Koala. We're going to definitely bring that up, brother. Don't worry. Crypto James, what's going on? Family, Randy, family. Monero, what's going on, bro? Jasmy's in the house. I feel this could be a BTC fake out. Oh, Monero, don't come in here with the negativity, bro. Don't do it. Prodigy, what'd I say? Oh, sorry, brother. Prodigy said, if you don't mention your day one more time, I'm going to put a steel toe boot in your ditty. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro? He said, if you don't mention your day one more time, I'm going to put a steel toe boot in your ditty. I don't know what you mean by that, bro. Did I keep repeating myself what I did today? I didn't even tell you guys what I did today. Anyways, let's just jump right in here. So, a couple things. Randy, you see that, right? You see what I have to deal with? So, a couple things I noticed for today. And for for Crab, one thing I want to point out is you guys see how the price is actually down a little bit, but look at the liquidity. The liquidity went up. So, earlier today, I was watching live, and I'm going to see if I can find it here. There's been so many transactions. Oh, here it is. So this right here is the dev's wallet right here, or one of the devs. And you guys can see they were actually selling. But hear me out first. They were selling, right? This was today. This was yesterday. They were selling, and they added it all right back into liquidity, or most of it back into liquidity. So when you saw this drop today, you guys can see when they're selling right here. This is one of the devs' wallets right here. Today earlier, they were selling, and they caused this big drop. But I noticed that immediately after he was selling big, he or she, I'm pretty sure it's a he, they were selling big, they came back and basically dropped it into liquidity. And that's something that we actually just did with our project as well. People don't realize that you got to build up your liquidity, right? You have to build up your liquidity. What's going to happen is, especially for this project, now that they've pretty much gotten up above 100K for liquidity, the swings aren't going to be as much, right? You're not going to see these massive swings right here, because when you were seeing these swings, market cap was at 30 or 40,000, right? 50, 60,000, 70, 80,000, somewhere around 80 to 90, still swinging. Right here, I remember earlier when I was watching, it was at around 94,000, and it started to swing. But this was obviously caused for, this was intentional as far as this dip, because like I said, the devs were selling off and actually adding right back in to the liquidity. So what I bring this up for is because, you know, looking at the liquidity, people don't realize that it's such an important thing to have a massive amount of liquidity, and also to kind of square up with your market cap, right? We did the same thing for NFK. You guys can see, we'll zoom in. We've been consolidating, right? We've been steadily moving up, but look at our liquidity. We finally have got it up to around 34. It's actually right under 35,000. I was just checking, but you can see our market cap is starting to square up with our liquidity, right? It's not going to be exact, but you can see we're squaring up with our liquidity. And I told you guys this yesterday when we were talking about the project. This is our native token on NFK, only $100,000 market cap. Imagine when we hit 10 million, $100 million, how much gains we're going to see, but in due time. But what I'm getting to is that yesterday, if you guys remember, our liquidity was at 28, 29,000. We jumped up $6,000 overnight in liquidity, right? And we're going to continue to do that. Like I said, right now we have OTCs, which is basically over-the-counter sales going on, to where we're actually doing direct sales from the main wallet to anybody that wants to buy, and we're giving you a 15% increase on whatever you buy. So whatever you buy right now, you'll get the market price plus 15% on top of that. And the reason why we're doing that is because instead of boosting the price right now, we're more focused on adding to our liquidity, because we want to hit that $50,000 liquidity. It's going to give us a lot more stability, and then we're going to start pumping the price back up to where we were at a week or two ago. So with these dips right here, this was all intentional for us to just basically take money out of the project and put it into liquidity. So that's the thought behind it. And same thing I saw Crab doing today as well. So the difference is that they have a lot more money behind. For right now, these are the people that were running, were with Call, you know. So you obviously know Call has a massive, a lot of money liquidity behind it. So they were able to start the project off, you know, with a lot more money behind it. So, but you know what? We're going to be right behind them. We're definitely going to be moving just like them as well. Long term is the goal for this. So for Crab, going back over here, you guys can see it did drop below the trend line, but for right now, it is actually hitting its head on this trend line. So what we're going to want to see is us get back up above this trend line, which is basically at the 96, 97, getting that support and continuing on to the run. So, but still, all in all, even though it did break out of the trend, it's still sitting right there hovering on this trend line, and it easily can bounce right back up. And like I said, at the end of the day, if you're long-term on this project, you should be very happy, because these people, they're still running ads, right? And we're about to be doing that as well. We're about to continue on our ads, but they're running ads, continuously running ads. It is so expensive to run ads. I'm trying to, it literally is like $200 an hour to run ads. So imagine, these guys have been running ads for like 4 days solid, right? So I'm sure they put so much money into ads, but on top of that, they're putting all their money into liquidity, and they're building this up for long term. That's what you want to see in a project right there. Those two things that I just mentioned, that right there should give you so much, secure feeling of what this project, what they're doing behind it, and what they want to see in the future. This isn't just a, if it moves, it moves. Like the devs, like, screw it. I can cash out at any time and make 30K. Like you could tell they obviously care. They want to see this thing run up. So who knows? Maybe this project can possibly make it to crypto.com in the near future. So, and speaking of that, let's jump right into call, because you talk about or what was it that we were just talking about? You talk about crab, and you got to bring up call, right? So call right now, not too bad. I mean, you can see it broke out of that trend that we talked about like a week ago, kind of going sideways, but it looks like it found a spot for some support at one of the levels that we had at 61, and you can see that it's slightly trying to go for a bounce. I wouldn't be necessarily like, oh, we're running up towards all-time highs again until we break probably, and I'm going to mark it right here, until we break this spot that we just hit our head on, somewhere around this 83, 84 mark right there. Until we can run up and break above that, that's what I'm saying, guys. Call might be running up towards that $100 million market cap again. So, but I mean, it still looks great. It still looks great. Still holding that $50+ million market cap. So, and someone asked, what was the question? Real quick, someone let's see here. Can call compare with Milady in this bull run? Is what MeX was asking. And Shad, we're gonna pull up Jasmy right now, brother. Hold on. So they were asking about can call compete or compare with Milady this bull run? The one thing I will say is I'm bullish on both projects. I think that comparing the two, a little bit of they're on two different realms, is what I think. Right now, you still have call kind of on that bottom tier. It is on a major exchange, right? But it's still on that bottom tier, in my opinion, right? I feel like Milady is trying to compete with the big leagues. The next thing that she really needs is to get listed on Binance or Coinbase or both of them, and you're gonna see Milady right there with PEPE, and Dog with Hat, all these major meme coins. I think that Milady has the potential to get to. I think that the only thing that's really holding back is the exposure and possibly getting on some of these major exchanges that is going to happen down the road. So with that being said, comparing the two, I wouldn't compare them. I would say that both of them, I'm very bullish on both of them. I think they're on their own kind of trajectories, right? I think Call right now needs to get back up to 100 million and hold 100 million, right? Call needs to not only be on crypto.com, but it needs to get onto other exchanges, right? I'm not saying it needs to be dropped on Binance necessarily. Obviously, that would be epic if it did, but just other exchanges like KuCoin, they're usually a big exchange that'll pick up a meme coin, something like that. Then we'll talk about comparing the two, because then now you're talking about projects that are on two, major exchanges that now they kind of compete because their market caps are similar and stuff like that. But for right now, I couldn't compare the two. So Ramirez, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You guys are up and running today, huh? My boy said Milady. Let's bring up Milady again, because we already were talking about it. Milady is on a run, guys. Milady is on a run. Who was in here yesterday? And I'm not calling you out. I'm honestly asking. Somebody was in here yesterday, and they were like, Crip, I can't even look at my portfolio right now. My Milady portfolio makes me sick. This is what they were saying yesterday. And I remember telling them, I'm like, brother, listen. I'm like, I understand what it is. I understand looking at your portfolio and you're down like crazy right now. It sucks. But I was like, just hold through. We're going to get through this. Now, I'm not saying, oh, we're out of it now. Let's go. We're all rich. But just seeing a day like today should give you that motivation and let you know that Milady is not going anywhere. Just because the devs aren't tweeting every day or posting stuff on X doesn't mean anything, right? They said what they said they were going to be doing, which was a very bullish thing. 2 months ago, they said they're going to be implementing a launch pad with staking. They're going to be burning stuff on the back end as far as the circulating supply. That's all you want to hear. The next thing that we need, people, for Milady is that Binance listing. After that, like I said, Milady is going to be competing with the big leagues. Mark my words, guys. Mark them. They're saved. Ramirez, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate that, brother. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, so I mean, you guys can hear it in my voice. I'm super bullish for today. I'm super happy for you guys because I know my portfolio is green. I know you guys' portfolios are green too. And you know, we needed a day like this. We really did. We needed a day like this. Now let's look at the crypto bubbles, and obviously we already knew what we were getting ourselves into. Look at the sea of green, and you know what I want you guys to focus on? Look how small each one of the bubbles are. Normally, when you see a bubble that's at like 16%, it's like taking up half the screen. Look at all the bubbles. Why are they all kind of around the same size? Because everything is up like crazy today. You have all these projects. These are the top 100. They're all up at least 10%, right? Beam up 14%. Sui up 16.5%. Floki up almost 12%. You got Graph up almost 14%. What is this? Immutable. Yep, Immutable up 16%. Ordinals is back up. Fetch 13%. We can keep going down the road. Ondo, Craig, where you at? Ondo up 14% for today. I mean, we needed a day like this, guys. We really do. Now, we need to continue this momentum, right? We need to continue this momentum, us going up, us just feeling that bullishness back in the market. And I always tell you guys this. I'm like, bro, when we're going through it, I'm like, you guys know how it is. We get bullish for like a week or two, you know, or whatever the case is. Sometimes it's longer. We go through it. It's like a month or two. But out of nowhere, it just snaps. And we're back into bullish mode, right? So, was I saying bullish all the time? Sometimes we're in a bearish kind of mode, right? But we snap and it's right back into being bullish. So, that's why I keep telling you guys, the only thing that you can control is eating up those dips. Eating up the dips on anything that you love. If it's not just Milady, but all these projects that we've been covering for the last few weeks that were beat down like crazy, that are all up just in a small day, right? They're all up 15, 20%. So what happened today? Well, Bitcoin hit 66 and it's still above. So Bitcoin hit 66,000 as soft inflation data sparks crypto rally. Let me get a sip of my tea real quick. Ramirez, I thank you so much, brother. Right back at you, dude. Thank you again for the 10. And my boy Flip, thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate that. So, sluggish U.S. retail sales and softer inflation reports have opened the way for the next leg up in crypto's rally. Bitcoin climbed to its highest price since April 24th, while Solana and Near led crypto gains. And Solana, let's go look at Solana real quick. We'll come right back to ladies. Solana, look at Solana too. Absolutely ripping today. I know whoever opened up a freaking long down here is killing it today. He is absolutely killing it today. So let's see here. So crypto markets rallied on Wednesday as softer than expected U.S. inflation data jolted digital assets from their stupor. Never seen that word. Bitcoin surged past 66,000 for the first time since April the 24th and was recently up more than 7% over the past 24 hours. Ethereum changed hands nearly at 3,000 but underperformed with 4% advance during the same period. Ethereum usually is outperforming Bitcoin. Why is it not performing better than Bitcoin right now? Well, there's a couple of things. There's a big the SEC is after Ethereum right now, so you have a lot of people that are kind of hesitant. But I'm going to tell you why. A big reason that I think Ethereum is underperforming for right now. I still think Ethereum is going to be the top, the second biggest crypto for a while. But Solana is on its tail. Solana is on its tail. It really is. So you can see Solana and Near led gains among crypto majors with 8% and 12% jumps respectively, and the broader market benchmarked, was up about 6%. The rally occurred as April's U.S. consumer price, the CPI figures, edged lower from March, coupled with the slightly sluggish retail sales report. The data came as a relief for investors feared that the re-accelerating inflation and a red-hot economy might force the Federal Reserve to walk back its dovish pivot and even consider interest rate hikes. Investors consider this a bullish regime shift as it marks the first decrease in CPI inflation in over 3 months. Let's see here. This, together with the Federal Reserve previously announced its intentions to taper the central bank's balance sheet runoff, it is seen as a favorable print for risk assets. So, just basically to sum it all up, what we've already covered, CPI report came out. It hit forecast, right? 3.6. We're looking great. Hopefully, we'll continue on this downward trend for the CPI report, and you guys can see what it's going to do for the markets. It's going to be nothing but positive. So, hopefully, we can continue that. Now, there was a couple other things real quick that I did want to look at. So, this is the Fed meeting that's coming up. I don't see anything really changing for the Fed meeting. This is going to be for when Jerome Powell is going to speak about if they're going to be doing rate cuts or if they're going to be basically just pausing, as far as interest rate cuts. And we already know 91.5% are calling for no kind of a reduction in interest rates for right now. So they're going to probably just pause. We getting into July, and you can see the numbers haven't shifted necessarily yet. I think a lot of people are waiting till the June meeting coming out, which is technically, it's in 27 days from now. So in 27 days, we're going to have this meeting coming out about the July. We already know they're going to pause the interest rates. They're not going to basically reduce anything for right now. There's going to be no ease in interest rates, but people are starting to speculate, is July, are they going to possibly do it in July? I still think no. I still think possibly, and you can see the numbers, September, November, December is most likely when we're going to see the interest rates start getting reduced. And you can see in September it starts 53.3% are calling for some kind of a small reduction in interest rates. And then as we move over, you can see it's getting higher and higher. People are actually calling for a bigger reduction, almost a half to a 0.75% interest rate reduction. So I still think that's a little crazy. I still think that's a little bit crazy, but we'll see how it goes. Gina said, did you talk about NFK? We did talk about NFK, but we'll bring it back up in a little while. But Gina, did you see that liquidity jump? We jumped up. We're at almost 35,000 in liquidity. We're killing it. We jumped up $8,000. Well, was it 7 or 8,000 in the last day for it. Let's see here. Rosales, what's going on? And let's see here. Art said, what's Crab with Knife doing? Oh, Art, you don't have the emoji, bro? You got to put the emoji, bro. Got it, bro. You got to become a member and you can drop those Crabs with Knife emojis. What is Crab with Knife doing? I was looking at other projects real quick. So I was talking about this earlier. We saw a little bit of a dip in Crab. But what I realized was that the dip was actually orchestrated by the devs purposely because if you can see, their liquidity has jumped up like 10 grand from today. And what they were doing was they were actually selling. They were selling from the main wallet, and they were basically just adding right into liquidity. You can see they were adding to liquidity. I'll bring it back up. Whenever you guys see this right here, it says add. You can see that what they're doing is they added 1.8 trillion Crab, and it basically, since it's paired with call, it came out to you because you have to add them in pairs, right? So they added 1.8 trillion of Crab, and they added basically 22 billion in call into the liquidity pool. And let's see here, you can see I can pull it back up. They did it multiple times today, which I was just saying, you can see they did 1.8 trillion, 1.7 trillion. and that was just for today. That's a very bullish move, and that's exactly what we've been doing for NFK, because what they're doing is they're trying to build up the liquidity to prevent big swings in the prices, right? Because anytime you see big swings, it does bring in investors. People start swing trading their project and they're not holding long term. But if you can kind of curb that by just adding to the liquidity, building the liquidity up in the market cap, the swings become very little, because now people, if they sell off $5,000, it's not really going to affect the price as much. Before, back here, $10,000 were sold, it would drop 40%, right? So now if something like that happens, it's only going to drop maybe a few percent. So looking bullish. And another thing I added for Crab was that they're paying for massive ads right now, and that's a very, very bullish thing as far as for a project. It's a very bullish thing for a project. So let's see here. El Salvador announces tokenized investment offerings on Bitcoin sidechain. Remember, everybody was looking at El Salvador when they were crazy when they started buying in 2 years ago. They were buying Bitcoin at around $29,000. This was out of the actual government. Instead of using the US dollar, they were basically backing their currency with Bitcoin, and everybody was like, not us, but the people that were, anti-Bitcoin and pro-dollar were like, that's crazy, But now look at them. Their money as their currency is backed by Bitcoin. It's basically doubled in value. If not, it's over doubled in value. So that was a big move for them. El Salvador has been killing it, believe it or not. They've been actually killing it. That guy that came into power, he's a very smart guy. If you guys ever see any documentaries on him, dude's very, very smart. He's cleaned the country up. And, just making that move right there, came into office, and the first thing he started doing was buying Bitcoin for the treasury. So definitely very bullish. Let's look at some of the other projects real quick. Monero said no taxes on capital gains here in El Salvador. Oh, Monero, you're in El Salvador, bro. Nice. So you're in El Salvador. What do you guys think about him? Me being an outsider, I'm from the States. I don't know too much, right? It's like someone being across the pond telling us about America. You're only seeing what they're showing you, right? On the TVs, right? A lot of people across the sea, they're like, America's dangerous, and it's not a safe place at the same time, but a lot of us live in America, and it's it's relatively safe. But you see in El Salvador, you see a lot of things going on, like him cleaning everything up, and like I said, making those financial boss moves. To me, it appears that like he's gotten a grip on the country, and he's pushing you guys to be a superpower around in the area. So that's awesome. Monero said he's the best. I quitted France and moved here. Now El Salvador is super safe. That's awesome, bro. I'm happy for you, man. I'm very happy for you, man. We need leaders like with strength, that are not scared to do stuff. And that's what it is, bro. That's awesome. So let's look. So Mary, what's going on, guys? The only person I hear screaming about Mary in here is Dowdy. He's the only one that comes in here diehard Mary. Everybody else has been kind of, I saw today someone brought up Mary on crypto on I Am George's stream, and he actually pulled the chart up real quick because I Am George, he hates Kronos for whatever reason. He does not like Kronos. I don't understand why, right? But and he, you know what though, he's a smart guy. But a couple of times I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like he used to bash ICP when it was at like $3. He's like, ICP's done. And you guys know ICP ran up to $16 and then eventually changed his tune. He's like, I can tolerate ICP. So he pulled up, not that this compares to ICP, but someone asked him about Mary, and he pulls it up, and immediately he's like, it topped out. It's going down. And he kept it moving. And the guy that paid for the super chat's like, bro, I guess when you're looking on the outside, you don't really know what's going on, and they're still running on the potential news that they're going to be getting listed on Crypto.com. From what I've gathered, they're not listed yet as of now, but they're anticipating that move. But same thing that happened with Ryoshi. The same thing that happened with Ryoshi. They kept coming out with the all on their Discord and everything. Oh yeah, we're getting dropped on Crypto.com, this and that. Everybody's running Crypto.com. It ran for a while, but when they didn't produce what they were saying, it started to come down, and it hasn't been able to rebound since. I'm just throwing my 2 cents out there. I hope Mary does get listed, because this thing has been one of the off projects that have been just steadily rallying, right? Seeing it right now breaking the 236, I'm like, that's crazy, because it has been nothing but running. Every time we would look at Mary, I'd have to change the fib and move it up because it would break out of the fib, right? It hasn't done that in a few days. So it leads me to believe that something might be, maybe something in the airwaves. People are maybe losing hope that maybe that drop on Crypto.com might not be coming for right now. So, but we'll see how it is. Hopefully, like I said, I hope that it does. They did break the trend. They broke below the 236 for right now, but I will stay bullish, because you guys know, as long as they stay above the 382, I'll still give it that bullishness and say I'm still bullish on this project for right now. But they have to hold this 382 at the 54. If they break that 54, we might be seeing some numbers coming back down towards the 0.5 or possibly the 618. So we'll see how it comes out. Craig finally came to join us with his presence. He said Milady finally broke out. She did, bro. Let's pull up Milady. Let's pull her back up and see. She's not doing bad. She's up about 19.5%. She was just like 10 minutes ago when we were watching it. She was killing it. She was killing it. A little retracement for right now. You can see, what is that? Is that the 618? Yep. So you can see we had a nice candle wick, but the candlestick is hitting its head on the 618 for right now. What I would like to see is us at least break above the 618 and find some support. That would be very bullish in my opinion. And the same thing for Bitcoin. Like I was saying earlier, you guys can see we keep hitting our head at the 66.4. And if you guys are interested in learning how to find, because I had all these lines up well before any of this, right? I've had all these lines up for a while. And if you notice, I'm not using a fib retracement on Bitcoin particularly, but look how she respects the lines. If you guys are interested in finding support and resistance levels, this right here, listen, this right here helps out if you're leverage trading, if you're just trying to make decisions on buying or selling. This right here will help you out tremendously as far as your trading. So make sure you guys hit that members, hit that join. It's only $5 to join, people, and we've already we've had 2 airdrops for NFK in the last like 2 months. So I mean, you technically get your money right back. And also you get knowledge. We have our members only stream. Your name's green, and you get really cool emojis every time you're talking in the chat. And I will keep updating those emojis as these new projects keep dropping. So let's bring up Jasmy, because I know Craig is probably like, bro, bring up Jasmy, bro. Bring up Jasmy. Oh, look at, speaking of resistance levels and stuff like that. Now, I do have a fib retracement on Jasmy, but look at this. We've had this mapped out. Well, a long time ago, we've had this mapped out. And I've always been calling this 2 cent mark a big spot for some resistance, but also when we flip it, a big spot for some support. And look where we're hitting our head, guys. Right at that. It's a little bit above the 2 cent mark. I mean, a hair above the 2 cent mark. You guys can see that's where we're hitting our head on for right now. So I think a lot of projects you're seeing, I mean, this is with Bitcoin. We just pulled up Milady, and obviously Jasmy, the same thing. They all look about the same. They're all basically on a nice run. Possible bull flags occurring, but you can see they've all ran up to most likely these resistance spots, right? And they're basically hitting their head, waiting to see what the next move is for the market. So Craig said, what's Jasmy's charts looking like? I've been waiting for 3 cents for like forever, it feels. I know, bro, because you know what? Jasmy's gotten so freaking close, right? We ran up 2.6 right there. We ran up 2.7 right there, right? But she can't, not yet. It's just not yet. You got to have patience, my friend. Like I told you guys, Jasmy and Bitcoin particularly have been in this beautiful bull flag downward channel that they've been basically respecting. And I said, when this plays out, if it plays out, normally the bull flags do play out, but not always. But normally they will play out. This one right here, because it's been so anticipated and so long, that this thing's probably going to be an epic move, and we're going to just see this thing blast off to like 3 cents. I do think we already have lines mapped. Obviously, the 2.5, and then we have this 2.8 that's going to be a big spot. And obviously right below that 2.8 where we've hit our head on before, right below the 2.8, the 2.75 is going to be a big spot. And then obviously when we get up to that 3 cents for Jasmy, I think it's going to be a big spot mentally that it's going to need to conquer. So Art said, I feel like I missed out on Mary already. I mean, honestly, I would keep an eye out on Mary. Like I said, I gave you some key levels to look for. You might be able to snag up some cheap Mary here, depending on if it breaks the 382. If it breaks this 382, like I said, you're going to be looking at 0.5 or the 618. You know, and I don't think it's going to be end of Mary. Sometimes these projects, they need to have a dramatic drop for the sellers to be exhausted and the buyers to come in and just take it back up to a new level. So if that does occur and you're bullish on Mary long term, those are going to be some key levels to look for as far as snagging up some cheap Mary. So Hungry said, I'm finally able to catch the stream. Welcome, bro. And Overcome, what's going on, brother? What is going on, guys? This tea is hitting. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think I'm getting a little bit I need to move it to something else. I'm kind of like on teas now. They're good, but I've been just drinking the hell out of these twisted teas that I think I need something else. I need another choice of drink for our streams. Gail, what's going on, brother? Sorry if I missed. I'm coming back up on the chat just to see if I missed anything. EO said dog whiff on Kronos. Let's look and see real quick. Let's see if there's any new pairs on Kronos. This is a scam. This is the same people right here. They keep opening up projects every day. Do not buy in on this free beer. This is a 100% scam right here. You can buy in, but you can't sell. These sales right here are all from the dev, or if it's one or two different people, they have like 40 different wallets, and what they're doing is they're pumping the price and also selling. I'm gonna zoom down, and I'm gonna guarantee there's probably more red flags than there are rockets. Look at that, 9 red flags. I haven't even looked at this project, but this is the same people. They got me already twice. Luckily, it's been for small, but if you see a project on Kronos that's up 1,000% in the day, and you can see it just looks like this, and there's small little cells, and it just keeps going. And there's small little cells, and it just keeps going, right? This is a scam. I guarantee, buy $1 of this and watch what pops up. It says an error. You can't sell. These people are a piece of craps, and they've been sitting on Kronos for the last week, every day, making new projects every day. I could show you guys. I can investigate right now and show you that the wallets of these people that are doing this, they're all linked to rug pools. That every day they've been doing rug pools every single day. So if you want to check later on, check this project out. Do not buy in, but check it out in the next few hours. All the liquidity will be drained from this project, 100%. They're a big scam artist. Let's see here. GameStop. When did this drop? 13 hours ago. They're trying to run off a GME. Let's look real quick. I'm interested to see what did GME do today because it was cooling off earlier. Let's see here. GameStop. Look at that. I mean, it's. I hate these gaps in this project. So, from what I'm hearing is GameStop, good old stock market, they've had to pause trading. I heard 40 plus times in the last 2 days. And you're like, pause trading. Pause trading. Yeah, in the stock market, they can literally pause trading where nobody can buy, no one can sell, right? If it's too much happening at once. Isn't that absolutely a freaking scam? I honestly think this is so scammy. 100%. I hope they never are able to do that with crypto, but they are able to do it in the stock market. So, I mean, and this isn't just GameStop. This is for any stock that starts going crazy where there's a lot of high volume. They'll, I forget what they call it, but they basically will pause transactions for like a period of time to kind of just, let it cool off. So you can see this thing, it ran up almost to about $70 on my chart. I heard it got up to around 80 technically, but let me see if I can zoom in if it'll show us a little bit better. Come on, TradingView. Man, they're just not satisfied with any plan you have. Any plan you have, they want you to upgrade. So, yeah, I mean, it says on mine about 65, but I could have sworn it said 70, 75, or like close to that yesterday, I believe it was. You can see for GameStop, it is slowly but surely trickling down. It does have a downward move to it. So we'll see how this plays out. I'm not against, GameStop whatsoever, but, I'm just not a big fan. Like, I don't care to even buy in on GameStop whatsoever because you guys know that it's all running off a hype from the Reddit and, everybody else that's in Reddit and stuff like that. Obviously, you have a lot of retail that are just following suit. But when these people want to sell, the one guy, the top guy, I keep forgetting his name, the cat guy or whatever his name is. Do you know how much money he made the first time around? $40 million he made off of GameStop. Do you think other people made $40 million? Absolutely not. People, yeah, you have stories of people making good money, but what you're not hearing is the people that lost so much money probably buying in on the hype on GameStop. I'm not real big on something like that because the price is technically at the mercy of a few people that are basically pumping the price that bought in before they started rallying the troops. So that's just my opinion. So, Donald said, can they be reported and kicked off Kronos? Nope. Because you know why, Donald? What they'll do for that project is they'll just basically, they can just get a new wallet and they'll just do it all over again. And they'll continue to do it. Unfortunately, the DeFi is the Wild Wild West. I always tell everybody that. That's why I always tell everybody, be very cautious. Rare. I always tell everybody, be very cautious, and I'm not calling you out, Rare. I'm just saying, I'm sorry for everything that happened. One of a close friend, had to deal with some stuff where he bought in on a project and it ended up being, basically a scam, and he took a hit today, on a DeFi project. And that's why I always tell you guys, just be very cautious because, if you don't know the dev team, like you guys know who runs NFK, right? You guys know our mission. You know us all, But when you're investing in some of these projects, even if they look like they're legit and they have like a website and they even will have a Telegram, they'll even put a lock on the freaking liquidity, right? I told you guys that stuff doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything, right? So you just have to be very cautious. You have to be very cautious when it comes to investing in DeFi. You can make so much money, but you also can get your ass handed to as well. So to answer your question, Don, there's nothing we can do about them. That's why I'm doing my due diligence, and I'm pointing out what I'm doing every day is I'm pointing out whatever scam they have going, and I'm telling you guys, do not buy this project right here, Free Beer. It is a complete scam. If you don't believe me, go buy $1 of it. Go throw $1 in it right now. It's on VVS. Go put $1 in it and see if you're going to get your dollar back. It's lost. Not lost. It's going right into this scumbag's wallet right here. So that's all we can do, right? That's all I can do and look out for you guys is just point it out. Unfortunately, I had to take a freaking hit. They got me twice. They got me twice. Now I know what their charts look like, you know? And then I did some research on them. I started going into their wallets and looking at other stuff, and I was like pulling up their previous projects that they had. And the last week they were like linked to like 10, 12 different, and they're all rug pulls. Every single one of them, the liquidity is completely drained, right? So I was just like, bro, what some scumbags, bro. I mean, it's stealing. It's 100% stealing is how I look at it, you know, but it is what it is. Yeah, so for today, as far as like Kronos and stuff coming out for today, there's really nothing. For the 3-day, you guys can see, obviously, we have RIP, Stonks. Those have been doing really well. What's this Gremlin right here? Not looking the best. They've been out for what? About 2 days. It's down like crazy. What's the market cap at? It's a low market cap. I like their the little background. 20% pre-sale, 15% marketing, 5% goes to the dev team, 10% burn-in, future marketing. They have the central exchange listings that they want to get onto. I mean, yeah. Looks like they have a mission, right? So it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad at all. But other than that, that's like where I draw the line. Nothing else down. And you know why I don't like this Gremlins? Because they're on Ibisu Bay. Bro, I don't know about you guys, but Ibisu Bay does not let me buy or sell anything on their swap. I don't know what it is. I'll freaking go on VVS and MMF and I'll trade all day, but freaking Ibisu Bay always giving me freaking issues. RJ Sanchez said, call to $1 billion market cap, bro. Hey, if it does that, bro, that's crazy. I mean, $1 billion, I'm not saying it can't happen at all. I'm not saying it can't. I'm just saying $1 billion, bruh. That's a big move. Let's look Corgi AI. If you guys are familiar, Corgi AI was probably one of the only meme coin DeFi projects that ran up to $1 billion. Right now, it has been on a steady downward move. This was dropped on Kronos as well, but this at a time was like $1.1 billion. $1 billion. This thing was, I mean, it was up there. It started from nothing, and this thing went absolutely berserk. But you guys can see, when this came out, there wasn't any competition, right? There wasn't any competition on Kronos. Kronos was ghost town. There was nothing. So anybody that came in, they were just buying in on Corgi AI. Well, now, fast forward it 3, 4, 5 months, and now there's massive competition on Kronos now. So a lot of people are moving their money from Kronos. They already have. I mean, it's down 60% from its high. They've moved it from, Corgi over to a lot of the newer projects. So Art said, you got to disconnect and reconnect on Ibisu Bay. It gives me issues as well. Bro, I've been on Kronos for the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what, I'm not saying, like, I hear what you're saying, and I've tried it already, bro. It is giving me, it just will not work whatsoever. Like, to the point where I get aggravated, and I'm like, screw you. I'm like, I'm not buying, so I won't buy anything on their swap. Put it on VVS, and you'll get my money. RJ say, call is definitely Kronos' best meme. I mean, for right now, I definitely would say, yeah. I definitely would say for right now, they have the utmost potential. And, as far as who's going to get to $1 billion, I would say call is probably one of the top 3 that I would say. Probably number 1 in my book for right now, for sure. Crypto Pillbox, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, bro. He said, I'm really good at investigating rug pulls, usually late at getting into the good ones. I hear you, bro. But you know what? You know, with some of these projects, it's better getting in. You know, obviously when it's all about timing, but a lot of these projects have been doing so well that even when you feel like you're like late, these things continue to run and run and run. You know, so don't always feel like you're always late. Now, I understand if the project's up like 500%, you know, in the last 2 days, then maybe I would say hold off on this. You might get a little bit of a retracement, but you know, on some of these projects, I always do the same thing. I'm like, damn it, I feel like I missed out. And then I come back and the project's up another like 300%. I'm like, okay, well, now I'm too late. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, brother. I really appreciate that. I really do. And I appreciate all you guys today. We've came through today and did really well. Make sure you guys hit those likes. So someone's saying that Solana is on a run. We just checked Solana. What's Solana? She's running. Solana's running, bro. Like I said earlier, you know, you have Solana up, and what's crazy, what people don't realize, Solana's up 11%, right? The market cap on Solana is not a little baby market cap. You know, this is playing with the big boys now. So the fact that it's up 10, 11% right now, you're talking about a $70 billion market cap. So the fact that this thing is up, it has the volume of around 3.5 billion, and I would almost assume that most of that is buying in on Solana, right? Hence why they've been just running up like crazy. So what I'm getting to is the just the amount of money that's coming into Solana is just, it's insane. It's insane. And that's why I think Ethereum is not competing with Solana right now as far as volume. I mean, well, they're up. Ethereum's up 14. Ethereum's up about 14%, but they're up 14 billion in volume. But you got to compare the two, right? Solana's at 70 billion. Ethereum's at 362 billion. So if you did the math, Solana's technically about 1/4, about 1/5 of the market cap of Ethereum, and it's doing literally 40% of the about 35% of the volume. So I mean, technically the volume, if you looked at the ratios, it would be more on Solana's side. Obviously, if you look at the numbers, Ethereum's still pulling its weight for sure, and Ethereum's not doing bad at all. It's up 5%. I like I said, I think Ethereum's going to continue even through this bull run. It's going to still be the number 2 spot. But I think as we move, you know, on and on and on, if Solana can stay on this direction that it's in, with so many people building on Solana, I think there's going to be a time where we're going to see the most epic dogfight in the altcoins, and it's going to be against Ethereum and Solana, where they're going to be at each other's necks, and there's going to be this riff in crypto where we're all going to be basically tribaled. You know, it's like, who are you with, right? You like Ethereum? Get the hell out of here, right? This is Solana over here. There's going to be neighborhoods that are going to be split up between Solana and Ethereum, right? And people are going to be joining gangs where they're like, yo, bro, you Solana or you Ethereum, right? And you're going to be like, hey, bro, I'm in the middle. I like both of them. Get them. I think these T's are starting to kick in. RJ said, do you think Kronos will hit $1 anytime soon? Let's pull up Kronos's chart. I haven't looked at Kronos in so long. Oops. So to go back in history, so Kronos is at around 12 cents. To go back in history, and I want to pull something up here. Last bull market, Kronos was one of the hottest things out running, right? Kronos was one of the hottest things out running. The ecosystem was doing great, and everybody was like, Crow is going to a freaking $1. Well, Crow got close to $1. It really did. It got real close to $1, but it could not get to $1. It got up to like, and I'm going to zoom out, but I believe it got to like 95 cents, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere around there. Let's see here. Yep, 95 cents. Called it. This was back in 2021. I remember like a book. Like I said, we were trading Kronos. DeFi was going berserk, guys. I'm trying to tell you guys. I'm from the past. I've been through it all. Kronos, hopefully, can get back up to those levels. And when we get into DeFi season, I can't wait for DeFi season for our project for NFK, because just in DeFi season, we're gonna see so much money coming into these projects, right? I'm excited. I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, wow. I was like, we probably will do some crazy numbers in DeFi season. When DeFi season comes in, there's gonna be so much money coming in. But to get back on track, Kronos was, everybody was all Kronos, and at the time, Crypto.com, you could get the cards, the debit cards and stuff like that. You still can, but before, you would have to stake like 10,000 Crow, and you would get like the top of the line card, and you would get like all these perks with it, and also you would stake, and they would give you like 30% back on your staking, but you had to have it staked for a while, right? But they offered all these perks. Well, they had to change all that because the SEC started coming after everybody on staking and everything like that. And also, we went through a bear market, and a lot of people just kind of moved on from Crypto.com and Kronos, right? A lot of us stayed because I honestly think that their ecosystem is so easy to trade on with DeFi. But to answer your question, $1, possibly, right? Possibly. I know since then and now, I believe they added more into their circulating supply. They're finally up at around 90% of their circulating supply, so they're not going to be adding any more anytime soon. But for them to hit that $1 mark, it might be harder this time. A lot more money probably would have to come in. And if we look at the market cap, well, actually, so their market cap was at $20 billion at a time, which is crazy when they hit that 95 cents. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like they might not even have added anything into circulation. So, I mean, you can see right there, we'd have to jump up to a $20 billion market cap for us to get, close to $1. Really, we'd have to get to 26 billion to be exact, because that's how many are in circulating supply. So, I think it can do it. We'll have to see how it works out. We'll have to see if they can get that hype, because, the point of that story is that there was so much hype behind Crypto.com back in 2021. It's not there as of now, right? But you guys can see we've seen an explosion in DeFi and Kronos in the last, few months. So hopefully they'll just continue to make it easy for people to build on their ecosystem. DeFi is what really moves these layer ones. Solana, you think Solana would be where it's at if there wasn't 20,000 projects being released on their ecosystem every day? Yeah, 20,000 projects. 20,000 projects daily. Isn't that insane? Most of them are all crap projects or they're scams, but the fact that's how many people are creating on Solana daily. It's insane, guys. It's absolutely insane. But that's what drives a layer 1 project, and that's what Kronos is starting to, it looks like they're starting to get there as far as a lot of DeFi movement. So we'll see how it goes, man. Rug, what's going on? Let's see here. Gail said, can you check out when? Yeah. Can I check out when what? Can I check out when? You didn't finish your sentence. Can I check out when Bitcoin's going to get to 100,000? Can I check out when? I'm just kidding. I always do the same joke. I know some people are like, bro, all right, you keep doing the same joke. Like, just cut it out. Just cut it out, bro. You keep doing the same joke over and over when someone asks about when. Sorry. I'm a funny guy, bro. Funny guy. All right, so for when, you guys can see we jumped up. This all-time high right here is around the 56. Since then, we've had a little bit of a cool-off. Obviously, we're looking at the weekly here, but you can see off this weekly, it's bouncing off the 786. So definitely could be a bullish move where this thing could find some support at the 786 and start going on a nice run. If we zoom in, because we're zoomed basically on the weekly, so you can't really see any of its moves, but you can see now that we look, this is the 786 that we speak of, and look, it's been bouncing off the 786, and it actually looks like it's formed a slight W pattern. It's not necessarily a clean W pattern, but a slight W pattern, which usually points towards the upside. So with that being said, It's got to hold the 786. Hopefully it runs up and it can break. I believe this is going to be up to 618 right here. You can see it has basically hit its head multiple times on the 618. So going to be a big spot for some resistance. But if it can break that, find some support, you could be looking at, making it up towards these numbers, possibly up here. It's going to have a little bit of struggle going through probably each fib retracement, but it'll be a start us breaking up above the 618, finding some support towards the upside. So doesn't look terrible. Gina said, "Do you think Corgi AI will ever recover?" I wouldn't say never, right? Like I said, they saw such a massive influx in money coming in, and they were able to obtain that $1 billion market cap, and they stayed at $1 billion for a while. But like the whole rant that I was just saying, Kronos has come alive. There's so much competition out there right now that I think it's going to be hard for them to really get back up to that $1 billion mark and break it. I really do. Now, if you hear that Corgi AI, comes out and they get dropped on some other exchanges, then we could be talking about some catalysts for them to potentially, get back up to those levels. But for right now, you only see them really traded on Crypto.com is probably the major exchange that I know of. And then DeFi, I just don't see them right now recovering, as of right now and getting back up to those $1 billion marks. Just my opinion, though. So Crypto Pillbox, yes, bro. That's, if you were listening earlier, I didn't want to bring it up, but yes, that's a Gape. I never promoted this project whatsoever, and I'm glad I didn't. It didn't rug necessarily, but it basically screwed over everybody that was involved in the project. And unfortunately, I know some people that were close to me that ended up losing a lot of money on the project. I never promoted this project. I never even really, we looked at it because people wanted to look at it, but I honestly remember when the project was brought up, I said I didn't really like, the liquidity was only at like 15,000 when we pulled it up. And I was like, it just looks the liquidity just looks too small for my comfort, right? It just looks, I don't know these people, and this is what I was saying. You see how there's a lock? Well, majority of the liquidity was taken out, right? And you can see, look at this candle right here. It was basically, this is not called a rug pull per se, because a rug pull would be all the liquidity 100% is gone. This could be, I think they would call it a honeypot is what they would call it, but no matter what, it screwed over basically any and everybody that was inside this project. It screwed them over. So I'm trying to look to see when the transaction went through that took all that money out. Just looking back to see, I don't see anything. I don't know when that happened, but like I said, unfortunately, I never was promoting this project whatsoever, and I remember saying, I just don't like this project, and I saw you guys buying in on it. I'm not going to tell you not to, right? Unless something really stands out and it tells me, like, if something really stands out and tells me, like, I'm like, hold on, this just looks like that other project I was just telling you guys about on Kronos. I was like, this is a scam. All I said was this just doesn't look safe. When you're looking at when it dropped, the liquidity was at like 10, 15,000. I was like, it just doesn't look safe. I wouldn't put my money into it. So, well, you know what, Crypto, you're one of 3 people now. We had a few other people in total lost today about $10,000 in this project. So, it is what it is. We're gonna get them back up and running. It sucks, but yeah, it's all part of the territory when you're investing in all these DeFi projects. That's why I also say too is you can't let the greed take over. And what I mean by that is some of the people were putting in a big chunks of money, into that project, because the greed was just taking over, where they're like, if this just takes off to this point, I'm going to be rich. And, they were blinded, and they weren't really thinking about the, in the back end, well, what if this person, decides to screw the project over? You have $4, $5, $6, $7,000 in the project. Are you willing to take that hit? So that's why with me, I've learned so much in my years of DeFi that, I will throw in some chunks of money, like for a call. When call dropped, it was at about a $500,000 market cap. The liquidity was decent though at that time. It was like I think it was at like 100,000 at the time. I remember I was still even sketched on that, and I threw in like $500, and I ended up making, I've ended up 10xing my money on that. But, I had, thousands that I could have put in that were in my Kronos wallet at the time, but I didn't do it, because trust me, I've been through it all. And I've gone through hits like that where I've been like, I vowed to myself, I was like, I will never set myself up again like that. You feel violated, you feel betrayed, you feel like someone literally just came up with a weapon and just took everything from you, right? So it's just like, it's a feeling that me personally, I didn't like it, and I always made sure to learn from my mistakes. But you got to go through some of those situations for you to really understand and remember next time when you're when you're making investments on DeFi. So Gail said, same issues with Coinbase wallet. My stuff is stuck on there. Everything I tried to swap, it says transaction most likely to fail. And that, damn. You should contact Coinbase. Coinbase is probably one of like the few that have actual, you can call and at least get some kind of customer service. So you should call them and let them know exactly what's going on. Art said, is there a fake crab? Yeah, they put it on sushi. It's called artificial crab. You ever seen it? It's with a K. Krab. Hate it. If you guys eat sushi, do not get that Krab stuff. Because supposedly it tastes just like it, but I can't fathom. If you see what it's made with, bro, you won't ever eat it again. I'm telling you. I'm just kidding. Yes, there supposedly is a fake crab out there, and it's remember, I'm not promoting this. I'm just bringing it up. So this is crab with a knife. The other one is crab with knife. This is crab with a knife. Now, this project, I'm not going to say, it's a fake project, because they've been up and running for the last 4, almost 5 days, and they haven't they're seeing a massive drop because people bought in initially thinking this was like the actual project, and then they sold off, right? And they're getting bad publicity, so I don't know what in the back end, who the hell came up with the project first as far as like their thoughts, but we know the actual crab that we're running with on the channel is crab with knife, not crab with a knife, crab with knife. And this was the original project that dropped. They dropped first. Like I said, their liquidity is a lot higher. Obviously, they've been running ads, they've been doing good, and they're affiliated with the call team. So this is probably your safer bet as far as buying in if you're looking for crab. Red Rum said, Milady with heart eyes. Yep, she's looking great. She's looking good. Having a little bit of a cool off from this nice run that we had when we first started the stream, but looking good in my eyes. I'm giving her the heart eyes as well. I'm like, ooh, girl, you looking good. You looking like a snack, girl. You looking like a snack. All right, guys, let's do a quick recap. I'm on 2 streams today. Whew, and I have had a long day, so let's do a recap. Obviously, we saw today, CPI report came out, and we met forecast expectations, so we saw a nice run. Right now, Bitcoin is hitting its head at the 66.4. Keep an eye on this. We need to break this. We're probably going to need to retest this multiple times. Hopefully tonight, our Asian brothers and sisters will take over. We'll pass the torch to them, and all our European people and everybody that's just not in the States that are going to be waking up in the next few hours, we'll pass the torch to them, and they can continue to have this rally running. We do have the ETFs in Hong Kong, so hopefully they will go in effect, and we'll see some good inflows on them, and we'll see Bitcoin break this 66.4. We need it to break and at least find some support above the 66.4. For Milady, 618 right now is going to be a pivotal spot for some support that we need to break. So it's going to be around that 16.9 area. We need to break it and find some support. Next spot for some resistance is going to be 17.8. We almost made it there. We didn't make it all the way there, but 17.8 is going to be that spot for some resistance on Milady that we eventually are going to come back and retest, and we need to break, and we need to find support on each one of those levels as we continue to move, right? But you guys can see the gist of the market for today. We are in the green. We're looking beautiful. Everything's looking great. Like I said, hopefully tonight the torch will be passed over to all our brothers and others in the other countries that trade crypto and love it just like us, and we can continue this rally up, and especially for this week, we can continue to run. So hopefully that will continue. I want to see. Nope, we don't need that. So, but other than that, guys, we're looking good. Let's see here. Kaktashi. I'm forgetting to say your name, bro, because you haven't been here in so long, and your name's not green, bro. You need to fix that. Bro. So BP said, I'm waiting for Solana to come down so I can short. Why are you waiting for it to come down so you can short? If you're looking for a short, and I'm not telling you to open up one right now because we're rallying, but if you're waiting for a short, you would be opening it up when it's at a high, right? But I honestly, BP, hit me up in the Discord. I honestly think that you should probably sit this one out for right now. I wouldn't be opening up any shorts on the market. That's just my opinion. Watch tomorrow, it would play out, but I'm always looking out for you, fam. I would be careful on opening up any shorts. So Gina said NFK. NFK is beautiful. We're up 12% today, guys. $35,000 liquidity. Our market cap is at 150. Check out NFK, guys. This is our native token. We are going to the moon. We're going to the moon, guys. We've been basically reassembling ourselves. We had to put a lot of money into liquidity. We're finally getting up there. If you guys are looking for OTC sales, hit me up in the Discord directly, and I'll get you that OTC sale so you don't have to pump the price. I can give you a 15% bonus on top of whatever you guys buy for NFK. I don't care if it's a small amount. Hit me up because everything's going to liquidity. So, but other than that, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a wonderful night. Get some good sleep. Hopefully tomorrow we wake up and the markets are going crazy again, right? I had a good day with you guys today. 2 streams. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe. Make sure you guys hit the join. Kaktashi, hit that join. Become a member. We got our members only stream coming up this weekend as well on how to be a better trader. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? See ya.